Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Martin foresees Nina's revenge later while Cyrus deals with Mason. According to General Hospital, Scott Baldwin persuaded Lucy Coe to seal the paperwork and legalize Tracy Quartermain's ownership stake in deception before things got worse. When Laura Collins discovered Cyrus Renault had paid with the fund Scott had set up to benefit reformatory inmates, she drew Scott away and chastised him for assisting Cyrus in getting free. When Scott reunited with Lucy, he discovered that she still hadn't signed the requisite papers. Scott left for a phone call and returned to discover Lucy had taken his pen and left. At GH, Cyrus was taken by Austin Gatlin Holt, who dragged him into a medical closet and threatened to use a knife on him. Austin yelled that Ava Jerome Mora West was still alive thanks of him, and that Cyrus was now free. Austin's tough side attracted Cyrus, who chose to overlook this careless mistake, but advised Austin to wash his hands and take him to see Mason Gatlin. T.J. Ashford observed no obstacles to Mason's full recuperation in his room. Mason countered TJ's prediction that his patient would end up in Pentonville by saying he has previously managed to escape worse situations. Cyrus moved in close to Mason after Austin let the boss in and mentioned that he made a deal with Mason's cousin. Cyrus agreed that Austin would help him escape prison in exchange for Ava being safely brought home. Cyrus persuaded Mason to share his instructions regarding Ava since he wasn't a man who reneged on his promises. Cyrus also got Mason to admit that he disobeyed by having him acknowledge that Cyrus had instructed him to take Ava home. Cyrus proposed that Mason's life should be spared for the time being because Ava was still alive to tell the tale. Mason was warned that he would face Cyrus' complete fury if he ever attempted to betray him once more. While everything was going on, Curtis Ashford, Donald Turner, was shocked to see Portia Robinson, Brooke Kerr, come home for a late lunch. Portia wanted to see and pretended she wasn't going to butt in Curtis and Trina Robinson's Tabiana Alley relationship any longer after she saw Curtis looking at pictures from Trina and Spencer Cassadine's trip. Portia was about to leave when Laura arrived to visit Curtis, so she requested her not to disclose Cyrus' release from jail just yet. Laura and Curtis caught up after discovering Curtis on the patio in his wheelchair. They also confirmed their unshakable friendship. Brooke Lynn Quartermain, Amanda Seton, noticed Harrison Chase, Josh Swickard, in the Quartermain mansion and figured Lois Cerullo, Rena Sulphur, wanted to discuss Tracy's offer and change her mind about how she handled it. Lois was told by Brooke Lynn to put her mother in the same box as Tracy and never speak to her again if that offer came up in the conversation. When Chase got there, Lois convinced him to sing a song for Blaze, Jacqueline Grace Lopez. Brooke Lynn objected that Chase wasn't singing anymore, but Chase stated that Brooke Lynn will always be his first priority and sang the sappy song. When Lucy arrived and noticed Tracy had disappeared, she claimed Brooke Lynn was also to blame for the deception drama. Chase attempted to defend Brooke Lynn, but Brooke Lynn believed that the criticism was warranted. Lucy completed the paperwork and hoped Brooke Lynn approved. Wiley Corinthos, Viron Weaver, and Donna Corinthos, Scarlett Spears. Wedding photos were displayed in picture frames in Sunny Corinthos, Morris Bernard, Office by Nina Corinthos, Cynthia Watrose. In addition to Carly Spencer, Laura Wright, Michael Corinthos, Chad Duell, and Willow Corinthos, Ketlin McMullen, Nina intended to share frames with Sunny. When the topic of Drew Kane's, Cameron Matheson, trying time in jail came up, Nina hoped Carly could free him and tried to steer the conversation elsewhere. Nina finally tore herself away from her new husband after some flirting and kissing. Martin Gray, Michael E. Knight, appeared in Michael's office and suggested against it, even though Michael was prepared to tell Sunny precisely what kind of lady he had married. Martin pretended that Michael should be worried about Nina going off the rails and getting retribution when he brought up her wild past. Martin advised that if Michael kept on bringing Nina down, he had better prepare 2 graves. Sonny was on the phone preparing something special for the ideal woman when Michael showed up at his office and overheard the conversation. In the end, Sonny told Michael that he was happier than he had ever been and expressed his gratitude that his son was present at the wedding. Sonny intended to show Michael the framed images that Nina was going to distribute first, but Michael had something to say to him first. Sonny also mentioned that Michael and Willow had a grasp of what it was to love someone so intensely that it pained. Sonny experienced that with Nina, who had completely transformed his life. Sonny made it clear that he had nothing against Carly, who was content with Drew in her own way, or would be once he was out from prison. Michael recalled how Carly self-blamed for Drew's situation and claimed that's what he came to talk to Sonny about. Since Crimson was a highly important magazine, Sonny said Nina might be able to utilize it to aid Drew. Michael finally opted against disclosing Nina's involvement in the SEC tip and advised not to put that on her plate. Sonny questioned what Michael wanted to talk about, but he insisted that he came up with a solution on his own. Michael was ready to face Nina once he had some privacy, so when he made a phone call to find out when she would be returning to her office, he did so. When TJ returned to the hospital, Portia saw that he was preoccupied and persuaded him to concede that there was something peculiar about a certain patient. Mason was mentioned, and TJ affirmed that he was, but Portia decided it would be best to avoid Mason at all costs. TJ tried to let it go after deciding that Mason probably only reminded him of another weirdo. Cyrus looked at Portia rather menacingly as he exited the hospital. After receiving a worrying call, Nina confronted Martin at the Metro Court Bar and expressed her confusion about how this could have happened. Martin tried to explain what he had done after Nina questioned him, hoping she would find it acceptable. Nina brought up the contracts that Martin was required to submit by the close of business yesterday after she had clarified that it wasn't the end of the world. Martin pledged to set the contract problem right and took a drink when he discovered Nina wasn't aware of the informant leak just yet. He also warned that much worse news was on the way. General Hospital teasers indicate that Nina will experience severe reaction after Michael informs her of what he's discovered. Although Cyrus is finished with Ava, Mason, and Nick, might have other ideas. Hints for General Hospital spoilers when instructing Mason Gatlin, Nathaniel Gray, to take care of Ava Jerome, Maura West, Cyrus Renal, Jeff Kober, didn't hold back. Ava barely made it out of there by the skin of her teeth, and with a lot of help to Dex, Don Falconeri, Dominic Zamprogna, and Jocelyn Joss Jacks, Eden McCoy, along with a cliffside brawl between Mason and Dex Heller, Evan Hofer. Ava may believe that her problems are resolved as long as Mason is not involved, but she couldn't be more mistaken. Mason is very much in charge of what happens to Ava after Cyrus, and that was only the first stage in his plan. Spoilers for General Hospital. Cyrus Renault is defeated. Mason is undergoing surgery after being shot. For the time being, Cyrus has no choice but to play the hand given to him. But that doesn't mean he'll be helpless now that he's safely returned to Port Charles as a free man. Cyrus is done with Ava, but Mason and Nick might have other ideas, according to General Hospital spoilers. If Mason can't be his enforcer and ally, he can count on Dr. Austin Gatlin Holt, Roger Howarth, to step up. Whether Austin will comply with his demands is unknown, but it's possible that we haven't yet seen the full extent of Austin's sympathy and sense of duty towards Cyrus. However, Ava is secure for the time being. Mason Gatlin has an offer on the table, according to a GH spoiler. There is a rumor Mason will fulfill commitments he made to Nicholas Cassadine, Adam Huss, which the majority of us are not yet aware of. Mason may have always intended to make it appear as though he killed Ava while, in reality, he was hoping to trade her for a big Cassadine reward. No matter where he is across the water, Nicholas can't return to Port Charles without getting jailed. But it doesn't stop him from having a scumbag like Mason bring her to him. Cyrus wouldn't need to gain any more knowledge. The fact that no one ever saw Ava again could have led him to believe Mason had already disposed of her. Find out what happens next on General Hospital by reading this. Spoilers for General Hospital. The Great Ava Caper, Take 2. Ava will still be in danger once Mason gets back on his feet. Even if Austin agrees to help Cyrus in some ways while his cousin is recovering, Nicholas won't have much luck using the man as a means of getting to Ava. Mason will likely attempt to flee with Ava once more after his recovery, and this time, he will be more prepared. Thanks for watching if you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.